Good afternoon, everyone. Shalom.
Bigfoot take it?
Travis Wayne Goodsell. When looking up for a picture for Nebuchadnezzar's dream of a statue, it is swamped, flooded with Christians and their picture representation with the interpretation. I'm sure somewhere in there's the Mormon version. It's just hard to find. You gotta actually type in your search Mormon or LDS. Maybe you'll find it. Christians dominate this passage from Daniel because they know it has to do with the latter days, and as they believe, the second coming of Jesus. But there's a problem, and it's a common problem among Christians. Let's see if you can catch it. See if you can catch it. The head of gold is Babylon. They use Babylonia here for the Aramaic ending. The chest of arms of silver, chest and arms of silver, for Medo-Persia. The belly and thighs of bronze. I'm surprised they didn't put Koine Greek. Greco. The legs of iron, the Roman Empire. And then the feet of clay. Christians never get that one right. That one. In case you missed it. What is wrong with it? Well, it's not feet of clay. It's feet of iron mingled with clay. Or clay mingled with iron. Iron is the Roman period. And so the feet of clay mingled with iron involves something after the Roman period time, still incorporating the Romans. Christians, anybody have a clue as to what the feet are? Because you don't tell us. Oh no. Is it the future? Has it not happened? Christians, where are you? Christians, where are you? Pope Leo forgot about it this year. 1700 years ago today, or this year. It was actually back in May to July. Pope Leo took over near the beginning of it, the conclave, and forgot. Was too busy condemning Israel for defending themselves. How dare you? How bloody dare you? And so now he's gotten himself deported by Trump for protesting. He's in a concentration camp right now, awaiting deportation in Chicago. go back to Venezuela where he doesn't belong, where Trump is gonna nuke him. Obviously not quite entirely true. Parts of it are. Parts of it are. So Stanford was doing some studying about the Greeks and learned of the cycle of hubris, atis, nemesis, and tissis. And went over explaining them. And so I recommended the Book of Mormon, 2nd Nephi 26, really, 20 to 22, and with 17 to 18, and Jacob chapter 4, 14 to 17, with Joseph Smith's history about the fate of those who don't listen to the head of the corner. Stanford must be too young to know that the Book of Mormon manual used to have the seminary instructor's pride cycle of the Nephites. It's false doctrine. Notice how the Greek cycle, there is no righteousness. You start off proud, you end in death. That's it. You need to pull out in order to survive. The pride cycle, however, says you can be wicked. You just have to repent. You get these long-time seminary instructors who are believed to be intelligent because they were teaching seminary. And then the church says, well, it would be nice if we had a manual. Well, yeah, I can help you out with that. I'll put in my pride cycle. Oh, great. We have no idea what it is, but it sounds great. As long as we get Mormons to repent and obey us. Great. I knew as a kid when I first learned this that there was something wrong with this, and sure enough there is. The Nephites never repented. They never became righteous. They were idol worshippers. And thus it was the cycle of destruction over and over and over and over and over. And so pride and arrogance led to war and famine. Not quite. That's the destruction part at the end. And then they become humble and they repent. And then they're righteous, prosperous. Yes, because wealth means you're righteous. Poverty means you're wicked. The Book of Mormon teaches this, right, Mormons? A seminary teacher who repeatedly teaches the Book of Mormon tells Mormon kids this. They're bleeping out. And looking up this picture yesterday, I found that there are some Mormons who thought they knew better and could expand upon it. And so you start with righteousness at the top. And you are blessed. And then you're prosperous. And then you're proud. And you sin. Want to scream. Just want to scream because it gets worse. And then there's pain. And then you're humble. Yes, Jesus lived a life of humility in pain. But then you have a second pain. Repentance. A second physical pain, if you translated it correctly. You see, Mormons get upset with me. I worked long and hard to make this picture and teach it to my students. It's false doctrine. So because of this falsehood, you get Mormons expanding upon the plan of Heavenly Father. And guess what? It's the plan of Lucifer. And they don't see it. First estate, the realms of deity, premortal life, the veil, birth. Second estate, earthly life, mortality, the straight and narrow way, faith, and second pain, baptism, Holy Ghost, good works, no fap, tithing, gotta pay to be worthy, and word of wisdom. It's just a word of wisdom. It's not a commandment. Oh, wait, it is a commandment under Brigham Young. And now you can't get to the celestial kingdom unless you obey it. And so, yep, the Salt Lake Temple is the celestial kingdom. And it's got trees covering up the inverted pentagrams of Lucifer on the keystone of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple. And there's 3 degrees of glory. 1 is temple marriage, 2 is endowments, and 3 is baptism. Really? Because nobody else has ever come out and explained this from the head of the church. What do you think you're doing? Who authorized you to claim that those who are baptized but not endowed go to the third kingdom of the celestial kingdom? Or that endowed without a temple marriage is the second? Who told you this? Where do little kids go? Oh, they get raised up in the millennium by their mommy. And those who don't pay tithing are apostates and go to outer darkness. You can't create your own Mormonism. What the bleeping hell? What kind of Mormonism is this? This is far worse than when I was a kid. Who made this? There is no identity of who the author is for this. Dear God. And then they have the Broadway for the terrestrial kingdom. The good and honorable Christians blinded with the wrong Jesus. Feet mingled with clay. Iron mingled with clay. And the low way, the celestial kingdom, the dishonest liars. That's dishonest. Sort of like what you're doing with this chart. Sorcerers, adulterers, and whoremongers. You mean those who are prostituted in the temple? If we're going to translate correctly, that is. Oh, dear God. Oh, Mormons, Mormons, Mormons. Alma chapter 4. Pay attention. You believe this is literal history, that Moroni is writing this. So Moroni writing this. You believe this. Let's follow this through. He is abridging the record of the people from the large plates. And he gets to the 6th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. And there were no contentions, no wars in the land of Zarahemla. But the people were afflicted. Pain. Yea, greatly afflicted for the loss of their brethren, and also for the loss of their flocks and herds, and also for the loss of their fields of grain, which were trodden underfoot and destroyed by the Lamanites. Destruction. War. They were decimated. So great were their afflictions that every soul had cause to mourn. Now pay attention to the wording. Moroni, as you believe in literal history, is now going to tell you something that's going to shock you if you understand English correctly. And they believed that it was the judgments of God. Idol worship, idol worship, idol worship, idol worship, idol worship. Dun, 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 dun. Idol worship, idol worship, idol worship. Sent upon them because of their wickedness and abominations. Yeah, that pride cycle, huh? Therefore, they are awakened to a remembrance of their checklist of do's and don'ts. Pay tithing. No fap. No caffeine. So, sure enough, they began to establish the church more fully, and many were baptized in the waters of Sidon, and were joined to the church of God. Yea, they were baptized by the hand of Alma, who had been consecrated the high priest over the people of the church by the hand of his father Alma. And nonetheless, they still have this idol-worshipping belief in their system. The seminary teachers are still teaching it. Where are you? There we go. In chapter 3, as you believe, this is literal history, Moroni abridging the record of the large plates of Nephi. And it talks about a prophetic curse upon the Amalekites, or the Nephites generally, for anybody who apostatizes by not paying tithing. I will set a mark upon him that fighteth against thee and thy seed. And again I say, he that departeth from thee shall no more be called thy seed. And I will bless thee, and whomsoever shall be called thy seed henceforth and forever. These were the promises of the Lord unto Nephi and to his seed. They separated from Laman and Lemuel, who wanted to murder Nephi and subject the Nephites to the yoke of Jesus, the Great Spirit. So the Amalekites, which, interestingly, the A in Greek would be without, and then M-L-K, Melech, without a king. That's the authority of king. But they had a king. He snuck his way in to become the leader of the Lamanites, if you keep reading. They knew not that they were fulfilling the words of God. They knew the words of God. They were Nephites. They got taught in seminary. When they began to mark themselves in their foreheads, 666. They had no clue. Oh, I like the number 6. I want to put it 3 times on my forehead. I think that would be cool. No clue. Curtis, did you have the 666 on your forehead, or was it somewhere else on your body? I don't think so. I don't think so. Do we dare look it up? We're 24 minutes in. We're doing so well. After Monday. Yep, I got street cred from Curtis, thanks to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Discontinues Saturday evening session of General Conference in East Idaho News. Shut up, women. Shut up. Shut up. keep silent in church. I forgot I was wearing transparent lace when I met the king. Kate Winslet. Oh my God. Curtis Allgeier. Different spellings of it. No, he does not have 666 in his forehead. He's got a bunch of other stuff, though. Okay, Curtis. Here we go. Here's a... Oh, that other one was better. Even though it's a little tiny picture. What the bleeping hell? So he's got Hitler right there on his chest. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. He's got some white supremacist square inverted on a forehead. So I can't, it's too small. God. There we go. Ah! Tricked me. Murder DB. You gonna allow me to blow it up? No. I mean, seriously, you went to Arby's? What the hell? What the hell? It's 3. What does it take? KSTU, it's still small. Why are you listed under Erica Herrera? Is that your wife? How did you get a wife? There we go. This is a little better. Skinhead. It's a nut. Oh my God. Yeah, it's so much better now that I can see it. It's the swastika at the center of his forehead. No duh, Travis. Honor, duty. There he get. He was being. What was the wording? Book of Mormon. Stirred up into a remembrance of his duty. He had no clue when he was marking himself with tattoos. That's what it's talking about in the Book of Mormon. He thinks it's honor and duty to his Amlicites, the skinheads. Which, yeah. Not too much different. Dear God. But this is what's important to catch again. It's one of those things where, oh, I never realized that before when I've read this a billion times. Right? You read the Book of Mormon, right? You don't just hear it from other people skipping it. Therefore, it was expedient that the curse should fall upon them. Pay attention to the wording, as you think this is literal history of Moroni telling you. Now I would that you should see that they brought upon themselves the curse. Even so doth every man that is cursed bring upon himself his own condemnation. Now let's go back to chapter 4. They believed that it was the judgments of God sent upon them because of their wickedness and their abominations. Therefore, they were awakened to a remembrance of their Nazi skinhead duty. And yet, he gets the woman. What do I get? I've been the good guy. I've been the good guy. Where's my prosperity? If you're a Mormon and you have no clue about the prodigal son video of the church, acting brilliant. I don't know this evil brother that you're talking about. I see an idol-worshipping sincerity. Trying to come back, having lost all of his inheritance. And you are trying to knock him down. But I've been the good guy. So yes, the Greeks are smarter than Mormons, despite the Book of Mormon telling us this exact same thing of the Greeks. Just translate it correctly. Is that when you are stuck in idol worshiping thinking for your religion, you can't pull out. You keep going in that cycle. After you were destroyed, you were thinking it's God who punished you for your wickedness. And so then you do a checklist of do's and don'ts, thinking you're now righteous. And you think you're prospering because you're righteous. They're poor now, in case you hadn't caught it. And thus the Zoramites, again trying to teach you, no! Prosperity does not equal righteousness. Poverty does not equal wickedness. It is idol worship. Hilarity ensues. So, the Americans yesterday going to the Temple of America, the Washington or the Lincoln Memorial. In this temple, as in the hearts of the people, for whom he saved the Union. The memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever. This was a test run by the Illuminati that became the Confederates in the South. And I am still amazed at the ancient Egyptians who knew this. But, as the Book of Mormon told us, as I went over with you, even though they knew not that they were fulfilling the curse of the prophecy that the Confederates would seek to overthrow the government of the United States of America in the latter days. And don't think you Mormons are escaped from this, because you are also Confederate. Before the Confederates broke off from you because of 9/11/1826 in Canandaigua, New York, Ontario York Rights Lodge number 23, by the Master Mason who saved the United States of America. And the temple was reared by his son, so that the Mormons can be endowed with the washing and anointings to become Melchizedeks after the order of Amen, to save the United States of America in the future. Oops. Mormons failed. And Mormons brought upon themselves the curse because of their hubris that leads to destruction. So, thank you, Stanford. So, in case you didn't know, Joseph Smith warned you of destruction. The Danites who will come will burn the whole world and blame Jesus for it. So, Oaks got leaked at a new mission president's meeting, 14th of March, 2020, saying that they're going to run a test run. Oaks does not indicate that there was going to be another test run for 2024 and then 2025. I want Zion. I want to be prosperous. Where's my wife? Why are all the wicked having fun but me? See, the Mormon who did the plan of salvation that I went over with you, they say, I'm on the road to apostasy, to outer darkness. That's why. Well, what about Curtis? You didn't even put murder on that line for telestial. You focused on adultery and whoredoms. And lying twice. Lying twice and sex sins twice. No murder. That's a projection, by the way. A tell of what's going on in your head. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, the Danites. Martin Harris joined the Danites in 1838. Thomas B. Marsh had honor and integrity. He attempted to save Missouri from the Danites and was chased out of the church. He wanted nothing to do with it. The extermination order of Mormons, as the Danites framed and blamed everybody, taking down the innocent with them. And here Oakes, a descendant of the Danites, the core Danites, not the converted Danites, even though Martin Harris, he was flip-flopping. That's why he's the wicked man in section 3. Nonetheless, they are running a test run for Armageddon, the day that shall burn as an oven. That was the test run for in World War II. Nukes. Yeah, that was the whole thing. Hitler was rushing to try to get the nuclear bomb built. He failed. We stole their scientists. They built it for us. We used it on Japan. Test run for Armageddon. Because Congress still, for the most part, was KKK. Founded by the Confederate after the loss. They inverted things. That's how you know it's them. Burning crosses. That's how you know it's them. Thus the Nazis. Inverting the swastika of the Hindu. That's how you know it's them. They're still here. Their whole intention is to destroy the new America. And they've almost got it. They're just so close. Just one more test run. One more. One more test run. It's driving Travis crazy. One more test run. Just one. One more. Isn't that great to belong to the worst enemy of mankind? To be held in reserve the premortal councils of heaven, to come to earth in the great and abominable church of Lucifer with his plan of happiness. Saturday's Warrior never mentioned this. I was supposed to be born in the one true church. I've been the good guy. I've been the good guy. Nobody ever threw a party for me. Elon Musk, who's now a trillionaire. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints voted and said, okay, fine, you can have $1 trillion. Thank you for making us wealthier. hoarding money. Multi-trillions of dollars. So Musk, as he's becoming besties with Trump again, his pain caused humility for a second pain. Now he's repentant, coming back to Trump to be prosperous again with wealth. The pride cycle isn't just for Mormons. So a very wealthy man says that AI is going to get to the point. I'm still waiting for AI to be intelligent. You said 2 years ago that AI was going to surpass the intelligence of man. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. That was supposed to be 2024, actually. I'm still waiting. Dumbass. Everybody thinks he's smart and contributing to society. All I see is burning vehicles and internet shutdowns and fire sales. I am not seeing intelligence from Musk. He is not a genius. He's stupid because he's a neo-Nazi. I mean, even Hitler's VW had an engine glitch. It caught on fire. What kind of a dumbass would create something that would catch on fire? Wayne Mills was constantly having to stop, pull over, and put out the fire. At least his vehicle kept running. The Toyota pickup truck that I had lost its transmission on the way to seminary. What the bleeping hell, Dad? You knew? Were you trying to kill me? We need to stir you up in remembrance of your duty. While you learn about the pride cycle, because it didn't click. What the bleeping hell? My dad trying to murder me. So, he says, even though he's failed on his first prediction of AI, he's now saying that AI will get to the point where work for humans will be optional. Really? AI isn't stealing our jobs? It's called optional, is it? And money will be irrelevant. Yeah, that's already the point. Wealthy people and corporations and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, by hoarding money, makes money irrelevant. Because the whole purpose of an economy is to cycle the money. Not the pride cycle, but yeah. If you're hoarding money, it's not being used in the economy. You're pulling it out of the economy. And so people aren't able to get the wages necessary for a living wage. The quality of products tank because you're hoarding money as a corporation. You're cutting off their pay as employees. You're cutting off the quality of products and jacking up the prices of the poor quality products. And this creates not just a division wider, broad, between the rich and the poor, but it also crashes the economy eventually. Remember? Hubris to destruction. Companies think they're so smart, making so much money. Brilliant! We're going to be so rich. Brilliant! Nope. You're going to crash the system. This is what Musk is not talking about directly. He's talking about an extermination event coming with the tanking of the economy. Tanking of the economy will destroy the federal government. And then death, destruction. People saying they've been the good guy. Nobody ever threw a party for me. Just great classics in Mormon movie entertainment. And he is a professional actor. I've seen him in other legitimate Hollywood movies. I think there's only one or two of them, but still. Where's our Gordon Jumps? WKRP in Cincinnati. Where are you, Gordon? And yeah, Maytag, for example. He forced Maytag to keep their promise of a lifetime guarantee for their washers. And then when he died, the contract was over, and oops, Maytag now sucks. We're gonna be so rich! Brilliant! So filthy rich! What good is the wealth if you're hoarding it? It is no good at all. So AI is now doing its own polling that the news is now reporting on. An AI projection poll says Trump sucks. Fox News reporting with their AI poll, Trump is the greatest president ever. "65% of AI polling data suggests that Trump is awesome." And so, Brigham City, yeah, their hubris is being built beyond their britches. Nobody ever learns from history. They just want to repeat it. That cycle, they just want to keep repeating it. So yeah, they're starting to build a nuclear power plant, run it by AI, because that'll be awesome. That'll be so cool. Nothing ever will go wrong. In case you've forgotten about St. George and the nuke bomb testing and what it did to them. And now Trump's resumed it, by the way. Will I be able to access this app without shutting down my camera? Meant to check it the other day. No, there's that Southern California one. Not seeing the... Oh, there we are. There we are. There we are. Yeah, 4.2. They're on the fault line of California. Yep. Yep. But no, he's not resuming the nuke testing. Not in that area anyway. He missed Hawaii on his first test run on the nukes. He was aiming to nuke Hawaii and he overshot it. In case you missed that in the news. Just so many dumb people. Yeah, it's so powerful. It's so much better than coal. Solar power even. No, it's not better than solar power. Just get the high wattage on those panels, you dumbasses. Solar panels must be a certain wattage in order to handle the energy usage. So if you have a high energy usage, you don't put a low wattage on the panels. But the guys who go around selling them here in Utah, they're low wattage. They're scamming you. You need to know this, because they want you to buy more panels, claiming that this is what's required with the higher energy consumption. No, they're lying to you. They're giving you a low wattage so that you have to pay for more. Remember that whole company scam? They're going to make so much money. Brilliant! Brilliant! My parents, just one panel. I mean, granted, it was before the internet, but still, we had a high energy consumption. Watching television for 12 hours a day, on a computer, lights on, 3-story house, new subdivision. Well, actually, no, it was in Placentia when we had that. We didn't take it with us to Corona. So, yeah, it was just the 1 story. We didn't have, yeah. It was right around the time where I got the Osborne computer. Yeah. So, the word processors. So we really didn't have much of an energy consumption at that time. Still the 12 hours of TV, though. But still. My parents were getting money back from the electric company because it was feeding energy to the electric company. So the electric company paid my parents. And yet, not anymore. Because of the low wattage on the panels. Do not be conned by them. The coal energy and nuclear energy wants to purposely hurt the solar energy so that they dominate. You know, like gas and oil. Gas and oil has been obsolete for 100 years now. And yet, we're going to be so rich! Brilliant! They'll throw parties for us. We'll be the good guys. 1 call, that's all. We're the good guys. The competition. If you don't know about that, living in Salt Lake City, one of them is 1 call, that's all. He sort of went silent after he needed to make the 1 call. But he's back. 1 call, that's all. In Spanish this time. as the Amazon deliverer this morning when I came back from my run, well, couldn't get in the building, obviously, and so I asked, you need to get in the building? And he said, no speak English. Whatever. Where are you going with the package? He was heading out to the street. Where are you going? I can let you in the mailroom. You have the authority, the mantle. I can let you in. I have the keys of authority. I'm the good guy. Mormons, if you just studied your Book of Mormon, I wouldn't have jokes. I'd be boring. You are boring, Travis, and we're not listening anymore. We're angry because we're the good guys. Stanford, you had no clue what you were setting up for me today. So, Utah is shutting down elementary schools. Parents are going, what the hell? What are you doing? Shutting down daycare centers, shutting down elementary schools. Women are supposed to stay at home. You need to stay at home. Stay at home. People get used to a certain lifestyle, addicted to our government and the economy that they wouldn't regulate properly. This is what Trump is shaking up by destroying the federal government, doing away with the Department of Education. He tried it the one way, everybody complained, and so now he's doing it another way, and everybody's complaining. Why test runs? Just do it! Just do it! And then it'll be too late for anybody to sue! Just do it! Grr. This will be brilliant! We'll run so many test runs! Brilliant! I won't be mentally retarded at all with tardive dyskinesia. It'll be brilliant! Test run after test run! Brilliant! So, Utah recovered 47,000 pills of fentanyl from China through Mexico. I then sent a letter to the new police chief, Red. Hello, remember me? You are letting the homeless back again, I say. In 2023, getting my jogging route established, I began noticing patterns where vehicles would park in an obscure area with nothing around it and be loaded up from a bigger truck when it pulls up. Sometimes the bigger truck has little vehicles, and people would show up with drivers for those little vehicles. And there would be abandoned vehicles as well as new Uber vehicles. And fentanyl skyrocketing. Yeah, I knew exactly what was going on and reported it to our police, who don't know how to investigate crime. They only find these people when they pull them over for speeding 1 mile per hour over the speed limit. And then do a thorough search of your vehicle for probable cause. Gotcha! And then they brag about how they caught it by violating the Constitution. See? The Constitution is wrong. We would never have caught them if we had to follow the law. We need the takeaway agency. That is going to save people. So yes, last week, they're back. And the police aren't continuing to keep an eye on that location, apparently. Because the 47,000 pills, yeah, that was only one of the drivers. The others got through and are now on the streets of Salt Lake City. That ended as I started watching my 12 hours of TV. The streets of San Francisco. Either that or it was on the wrong channel, because I was watching the right channel with the better shows. But I think it was reruns when I was watching them. So it probably didn't last long as a rerun. Nonetheless, streets of San Francisco. Streets of Salt Lake City. Yeah, they have no clue how to investigate crime. The explosions that keep happening all over Utah, they have no idea what happened, what caused it. We don't know. We're asking for the public's help to investigate the crime for us. Oh, little kids are investigating cold cases and solving them. Huh. Thank you, kids. I saw that and I just, oh my God. Little teenagers solved the crime all by themselves that had been a cold case. Oh my God. Why do we have police? What are they for? Whose brilliant idea was that? So, yeah, this was a bombshell yesterday. KUTV2. Surprise. They usually don't have investigations. They're not allowed in Utah. But as long as it's not the church, it's okay. But it is the church, and oops. Yep, the church's hubris. They think they're so smart. Yeah. Yep. So first we need to talk about Comey so that you can understand this next one by KUTV2. Jim Comey, back in 2016, came out and said, we can't investigate Donald Trump. He's running for president. It's too close to the election. We can't investigate. So we're not going to do it. We're not even going to try. It is our tradition for the FBI that when there's an election, candidates can't be touched because it's too close to the election. We're not even going to go there. But that Hillary, oh, we're checking into this. There's something here. We're going to get her. Jim Comey. And so, after winning the presidency, Trump invited Jim Comey to come and shake the president's hand. Thank you for getting me the presidency. Jim Comey said no. Trump was not happy. That's what this whole thing is about. And so now he blames Comey for trying to rig the election against him when it was rigged for him. All because he wouldn't shake his hand. So Trump has fired his daughter and has now tried to prosecute Comey for not shaking his hand. And so Lindsay Halligan is on the case with Pam Bondi as the Attorney General. Lindsay is the prosecutor. There's certain processes that must be performed for court trials. I was all excited that I got to use a picture of Lindsay with Pam Bondi for this video. Legally Blondes. She forgot to give the indictment to the grand jury. Case dismissed. And so, yes, she and Pam can now lose their license to practice law, be disbarred, not just fired, because Trump's not going to be happy. Good luck with a pardon when you go to prison for betraying Trump. Oh, dear God. Even though you're in the image of Ivanka. I forgot to use that picture for yesterday's video. I almost didn't use that. That was, oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, this could be a better picture to use. More people would be interested in this than Oaks. Bleh. So yes, I had both of them for the thumbnail picture for the video yesterday, but I chose Epstein Island, and it started off on the right foot, getting lots of views, more than normal anyway. I'm sure it's now dead in the water. YouTube shutting it down. Nonetheless, I have no idea what's going to get people's attention to break the wall of YouTube against me. They were just so pissed with that video of mine from 2017. Gotta shut me up. Shut up, Travis. Shut up like a woman. Know your place. We're not sexist. Okay. Whatever. So, understanding this legal system process, we go to Tyler Robinson, KUTV2, who investigated. That's strange. It's like a psychologist talking about medical information. No FAP is actually dangerous and harmful to your body. You're fired and excommunicated, Natasha Helfer. Oh my God. So, Tyler Robinson, who's now been turned into a trans Antifa furry terrorist, vilified in the court of public opinion, and he hasn't even gotten trial yet. There's an oopsie that occurred. See, the police chief kept coming out and giving us reports until Cox stood in the way to do it instead. Step aside, I'm going to explain things. And yeah, they put that clip in of him and Trump saying, we're going to crucify this kid. We're going to shoot him, electrocute him, drug him, everything. He's dead. We're going to get him. Well, the expert that they interviewed, expert prosecutor. Hey, Oaks, weren't you one? Weren't you? Or weren't you? Were you? Weren't you? You'd know about this, wouldn't you? He says that the claim of capital murder for prosecution has to be aggravated. There was no aggravated crime listed by the prosecution. Therefore, it will not succeed as an capital punishment. They will lose. You have to have aggravating factors. And so there can't be a death penalty. You can't make the facts fit what is not applicable by turning them into a trans Antifa furry terrorist. That is not an aggravating factor. But that's what he exposed them doing, is they're making up facts to try to crucify him in the court. He didn't shake Trump's hand. didn't pay his tithing. But what's worse is that KUTV2, because the police chief of the UVU area came out and said Tyler Robinson turned himself in. They put out a picture. Have you seen this person? Do you know how to investigate crime? We don't know how to investigate crime. Have you seen this person? We have a picture of a person, no rifle, wrong building. Have you seen him? We're going to crucify him. And so, was it one parent, the other parent, or both parents? We're not clear on that either. But nonetheless, the claim was Tyler turned himself in. My buddy brought him in. Okay. So there's a video of it. Because it's kind of necessary for the case to establish a timeline of events. Right? A chain of evidence. Right? KUTV2 has been asking this whole time. According to the law, we would like to obtain the video footage of Tyler turning himself in. You said he turned himself in. We're filling out a request to obtain the evidence that you're supposed to have for trial. Oops. They ain't got it. And so, yeah, this was extremely concerning to the professional in the field. Not only that there's nothing there for a death penalty case. So either the police chief lied, or they destroyed evidence, or they hid the evidence, or something else. Space aliens took it? Bigfoot took it? I was going to use that. Did Bigfoot take it? See, right there. Did Bigfoot take it? A very cute man. Do I look pregnant? You're still yelling. No, I'm not. All ties together. All ties together. So yeah, Tyler Kirk is getting... God, the assassin got away. That's the story. Oh, dear God. So, missionaries coming home from their mission are stranded in LAX. There's some problem on a flight. Missionaries had to go somewhere else. Not coming home yet, boys. Gotta go to LA. Yep. Snake Plissken in LA. You can pick up surfing there in LA. With all the flooding. Yay! Oh, you're not allowed to go in the water as a missionary? Because Lucifer rules over the sea. Idol worship, idol worship, idol worship. So, Epstein Files gets released, and everybody's focused on how Trump said there was nothing there's nothing to look at. He takes pictures with lots of underage women. Talked to his lawyer, who went to prison. And so Fox is complaining. Why is nobody talking about Bill Clinton? Because he's the only one. Nobody else. Not Trump. Oh my God, what a disconnect. And there's going to be those Fox viewers who are going to say, yeah, Bill Clinton. He didn't shake Trump's hand. Bad enough that you got him for lying about a blowjob. Making her a celebrity in Islam. They had posters of her on their walls. She's a celebrity for Islam. She's got those great breeder hips. Yeah, they like them women. Trans Antifa Islamic furry communist terrorist is coming to shake Trump's hand on the 21st of November. See the segue? So yes, they keep adding more to the title. Mamdani called up Trump and said, hey, hey, I want to come see you. Yeah. And then Trump talked about the commie calling him up, wanting to see him. So Trump is going to be assassinated on the 21st of November. In the Oval Office. Oh, God. So that's it. Oh, we're all done? But this was funny. This was a funny episode. My episodes are never funny. Never. No comedy ensuing. There's nothing funny about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Nothing at all. So yeah, we're done. Wow, okay, whatever. So yeah, KSL was still doing the psycho stuff. So we'll put those in for you. YouTube's still with every video I post. Says, hey, you want more views? Pay us money. Really? That's how it works now? Extortion racket for views, huh?